Cognizant to the needs of our learners, parents, and teachers, the Department of Education provided us with powerful tools for productivity that will allow us to foster critical thinking skills, problem-solving skills, communication and collaboration skills to be compassionate, responsible global citizens. Join us and discover new ideas in our series of professional development training program with the ICT's Edtech Unit and Microsoft Education Philippines. Together, we will equip our learners and empower our fellow educators for a dynamic future. Para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong Edukalidad.
Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang ETUlay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang ETUlay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICT's Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del P. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na pivot ang ginagamit sa ating ETUlay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Good morning, young entrepreneurs. Welcome again to the last online tutorial of our subject in entrepreneurship. And today, we will still have this platform facilitated by excellent and inspiring educators to guide you to another level of learning experience. And this online tutorial will also help your parents to guide your studies right at the comfort of your homes. Good morning to our schools division office here in Olongapo City, to our dedicated superintendent, Madam Leilani Cunanan, and to our ASDS, Dr. Mylene Minimo. Also with our education program supervisor in EPP, TBL, Mr. Jonathan Bada, to our public schools district supervisor, Mr. Allen Diogon, and of course, to our very supportive school principal, Mr. Samson Bukiron, and to our group head in TBL, Mr. Rochelle Quinto, and to all our faculty at New Cabalan Senior High School. Good morning po sa inyong lahat. And of course, good morning sa ating mga learners and parents from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. This is Tutor Wax from SDO Olongapo City na nagsasabing, huwag gawing komplikado ang pagkatuto. Gamit ang hashtag itulay ang entrep, itulay mo. Ganun din, magandang umaga po sa ating very supportive na participant na si Ma'am Mira, kay Ray Tabanera from Aklan, Western Visayas. Ganun din kay Ivy Lorin, Crystalline, Lucas Santos. Hi po sa inyo. At kay Carmen Larcena Ramboyong, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. So again, ang araw po nito, ang pinakahuling oras po natin sa ating online tutorial sa subject na entrepreneurship. And of course, nagpapasalamat po ang buong online tutors ng ating pong itulay sa pagsuporta ng bawat division, ng bawat guro, ganun din po ng ating mga learners, no, para maitaguyod pa rin po natin ang pagkatuto sa gitna po ng pandemya. Sabi ni Ma'am Mira, ipagpatuloy po nila ang mga ganitong aralin dahil malaking tulong po ito sa mga mag-aaral, sa mga nagbabalik-aral, at sa mga adults na nare-repress ulit ang kaalaman, katulad ni Ma'am Mira. Okay? So, ang ating po magiging topic, highlight po na ating pag-uusapan ngayong week. Actually po, ito pong week ang pinaka-interesting at exciting na activity po na ginagawa po natin sa ating mga school. Kasi for this week, okay, we are going to manifest understanding of starting and operating a simple business. Yan po yung ating quarter 4, week 8 lesson. Okay? So, for this discussion, at the end of this tutorial, ito po yung ating mga pwedeng i-expect. Okay? So, una is the implementation of our business plan. So, sa buong semester na tayo po yung nag-aral ng subject na entrepreneurship, no, gumawa po tayo ng ating business plan at ngayong week na to, okay, ay atin pong i-implement ang ating business plan na ginawa. And after the business implementation, atin din pong i-identify ang reason for keeping business records. Bakit ba kinakailangan po nating mag-keep ng ating mga business records? And we're going to perform bookkeeping tasks, though ang ating pong mga learners ay hindi lahat magaling sa math, no? Pero kailangan po natin na matuto para po tayo ay magkaroon ng idea kung paano po tayo gagawa ng mga bookkeeping activities. And of course, we're going to identify where there is a profit or loss for a business. No? Malalaman po natin, no, sa paggawa po natin ng mga financial statement kung tayo po ba ay kumita o nalugi sa ating pong ipinuput up na negosyo. Okay? Now, bago po tayo magpatuloy, let's have a review. Okay? So last week, diniscuss po natin ang pag-forecast natin sa revenue ng ating mga business. Okay? So you've likely heard hundreds of times from your mentors and from other business experts that you need to set a budget to keep your small business expenses on track. Okay? But how do you make decisions about your budget? Of course, okay? Like how many employees you can afford to hire or how much you can spend on advertising. If you don't know how much revenue you'll be bringing in the coming months or a year, okay? If you're starting a business from the scratch, making revenue forecast will be particularly challenging, where established businesses are use historical data to predict what will happen in the future. And in order for you to prepare an accurate budget, you first need to develop a revenue forecast for your business. At ito po yung ating sample, no? Ang sample po natin is from ETUlay Revenue Forecast. Nag-forecast po sila from June to October kung magkano po ang kanilang kikitain sa pag-put up nila ng kanilang business. Okay? And last week, we also defined what is forecast and what is revenue. We differentiate these two. Okay? When we say a forecast, is an educated prediction for the upcoming year about how much money your company will likely bring in, so that you can estimate what you can afford to spend and what your profit margin will be like. On the other hand, we define also revenue as the amount of money that a company receives during a specific period, including discounts and deductions for a returned merchandise. So yan po yung ating naging discussion. And of course, we don't have to worry if your forecasts are not completely accurate. You can always alter them after your few months, and concentrate instead on trying to make your figures as realistic as possible. Okay? And we also discussed how to forecast the cost to be incurred. Okay? So we did discuss about our financial forecast that will assist you in your business goals. Okay? So they are the future prediction of your business finances as compared with a statement which provides details of actual results or progress. Okay? And predicting the financial future of your business is not easy, especially if you're starting a business and don't have a trading history. However, forecasting and making adjustment frequently will enable us, okay, to become more accurate. So that's why we forecast. We forecast the cost to be incurred. And of course, we compute for our profit. And this is also a very exciting activity sa ating pong subject na entrepreneurship, wherein we compute for profit. Nakikita na po natin magkano ba ang ating kikitain for our business. And to understand what profit is, first we have to remember that cost, okay, is remember that cost is the money spent, then revenue is the money earned, and finally profit is money gained. Okay, So profit is the difference between the price and cost when talking about one item. And when dealing with higher volumes of items, total profit is the difference between the revenue and the total cost. And of course, we know how to compute the profit using the formula profit is equal to price minus the cost, and total profit is equal to revenue minus the total cost. And when determining the profit for a higher quantity of items, the formula will look like total profit is equal to unit price times the quantity minus the unit cost times the quantity. Good morning to Ma'am Cecil Adaya. Thank you rin po sa inyo pong pag-suporta sa ating pong mga online tutors, specifically dito po sa subject natin na entrepreneurship. Okay, now, how to calculate profit, depending on the quantity of your unit sold, the following are the variables used to determine your profit. We calculate by determining the cost, the unit cost, the price, the unit price, the quantity, the total cost, the discount, and the total profit. Okay, so these are the variables that we use to determine our profit. Okay, now, so we're done with all the definition, with all the theories of putting up a business. Now, dadako tayo sa pag-implement natin sa ating mga business plan. So how is your implementation? Paano ninyo in-implement ang inyong mga business plan? Lalo tigit ngayon, in times of pandemic. So what happened? Okay? So whether a business is a startup or already well-established, business implementation becomes the responsibility of all the employees. And implementation, as defined, is the process of executing a plan or policy so that a concept becomes a reality. Okay, so all of our young entrepreneurs were given an opportunity to implement your business, okay, your business plan. And this is one of the example that during pandemic, we still nakapagpatuloy pa rin po tayo sa pag-implement ng ating mga business. Kasi sa isang negosyante, okay, though we know na due to COVID, marami magsasara, but then in COVID, meron pa ring opportunity, business opportunity. And one of these, okay, yung mga ginawa po ng output nating mga grade 12 learners. So please help me watch this, para malaman po natin how we implement the business plan. Okay? So last year, we participated in Bayanihan Expo 2020, which is organized by the Association of Filipino Franchisers Incorporated, wherein we conduct a webinar and then online selling of our product. So that is how we implement our business. So in our participation, it was sponsored by the PLDT sa kanila pong website, wherein doon po natin pinost ang ating mga products, na siyang bibilhin ng ating mga target customer. And we are very proud sa ating mga grade 12 na naiisip nila pa rin ang ganitong mga produkto na ating po pwedeng i-market sa ating pong mga customer. Okay? Ito po ay naging bayanihan. Okay? This is organized by Association of Filipino Franchisers Incorporated. And this is a very big activity last year in our implementation. Okay, so this becomes the theme song po ng Bayanihan activity last year. And we're so thankful for the Association of Filipino Franchisor Incorporated for giving us the opportunity that our learners involved in this activity online. So pwede pa tayong mangarap no, sa gitna ng pandemya, kung tayo po ay gustong kumita, no, pwede po tayong mangarap. Okay? So ito po yung part na napaka-exciting no para po sa ating mga learners no sa pag-implement po ng kanilang mga business plan. At nakakatuwa no ang lahat po ng ating mga grade 12 dito po sa New Cabalan Senior High School were able to share no their product no sa ating pong mga customer na talagang tatangkilik naman po sa kanilang mga produkto kasi ang gaganda naman po talaga. Okay, so that is how we implement our business plan. Okay, now, in our implementation, okay, so let's have a reflection. Okay, kina Mira, kay Cecil, kay Ritz, kay Carmen, kay Ivy, sa lahat po ng ating mga manonood this morning. Let's have a reflection. So how did you implement your business plan? Okay, kung meron po tayo dito mga grade 12 learners na nag-execute na kanilang mga business implementation. So what is your experience? Okay? So maikwento ko ang naging experience po ng ating mga grade 12 learners. Siyempre dahil nga online, so nakagawa po sila ng kanilang mga product and then they presented to me. No? And then we participate sa isang big activity na talaga namang from there, nakilala po ang kanilang mga produkto. Okay, so nagawa po nila at tuwa sila siyempre dahil nga online yung ano natin pag-order and then dini-deliver po siya kasi meron silang partner na delivery no nagde-deliver po sa kanilang mga bahay-bahay. And at siyempre dahil po sa experience na yan they get this idea na kahit pala may pandemya ay pwede pa rin po tayo mangarap no na maging isang successful na businessman. And what is your experience in the implementation of your business plan? Siyempre, may mga nang-encounter po tayo no, sa pag-implement po ng ating business plan. Especially, yung, kung inilagay po natin sa ating business plan, yung location natin, okay, dahil nga pandemya, possible ba na puntahan ito ng ating mga customer? Okay? How about the supplies, ating mga ingredients, no? Pwede po tayong magkaroon problem dyan dahil nga pandemic, may mga delays. So yun po yung mga naging experience sa implementation. And did you record all of your business transaction? Okay? Nag-reflect ka ba? Na kapag nag-implement ka, gaano ba ka-importante na i-record mo ang lahat ng mga business transaction mo? So yun po yung naging reflection natin no, for this entire week po ng ating pag-implement ng ating mga business plan. So, ikaw, anong kwento mo? No? What is your story? No? So, ang experience daw ni Mira, ang experience ko simula sa business plan to business implementation ay talagang sa umpisa ay mahirap kasi nagsisimula ka pero habang tumatagal, nagiging madali na lang kasi gamay mo na ang lahat ng proseso, ang budgeting, ang purchasing at paggawa ng financial statement. That's very good, no? That's a good experience, Mira. Okay? Sa ating pong mga grade 12 learners nationwide, okay, at sa mga kung meron po tayo dito mga grade 11 na nagre-ready na no for the subject na entrepreneurship. So ito po yung mga pwede po nating mga naging experience. Okay? So one other topic po natin dito sa week 8 po natin is yung pag-identify ng reason for keeping business records. So kanina natanong ko i-record mo ba lahat ng transaction mo? O baka ano ka lang, no, gagastos ka, okay, nagbenta ka, hindi mo na sinulat, hindi mo na ni-record kung magkano yung kinita, magkano ginastos. Okay? So, ano ba ang reason bakit kailangan natin mag-keep na ating business record? Okay? So, everyone in business must keep records, of course. Keeping good record is very important to your business. And good records will help you to do the following. So, ang reason kung bakit kailangan po natin mag-keep ng business record, number one reason, we have to monitor the progress of your business. Okay? You need good records to monitor the progress of your business. Because records can show whether your business is improving, which items are selling, or what changes you need to make. So good records can increase the likelihood of business success. So that's why we need to monitor the progress of your business. The number two, we have to prepare your financial statement. Like the experience po ni Mira, no? Naging gamay na niya ang lahat ng activity at yung paggawa ng financial statement, no, is also an experience. Kahit na hindi siya bookkeeper, no, na experience niya kung paano mag-keep ng records, paano mag-bookkeeping. Okay? So in the preparation of your financial statement, you need good records to prepare accurate financial statements. This includes your income or the profit loss and your balance sheets. And these statements can help you in dealing with your bank or creditors and help you manage your business. An income statement shows the income and expenses of the business for a given period of time. A balance sheet shows the assets, the liabilities, and your equity in the business on a given date. Okay? And then identify the sources of your income. So why do we need to identify our sources? Because you will receive money or property from many sources. The records can identify, okay? Take on this, no? Your records can identify the sources of your income, and you need this information to separate business from non-business receipts and taxable from non-taxable income. So that is the reason why we have to identify the sources of your income. Number four, we have to keep track of your deductible expenses. Okay, so why? Why do we have to keep track of our deductible expenses? Because unless you record them when they occur, you may forget expenses when you prepare your tax return. So that is the reason we have to keep track of our deductible expenses. Excuse me. Then we have to keep track of your basis in property. Okay. Your basis is the amount of your investment in property for tax purposes. You will use the basis to figure the gain or loss on the sale, the exchange, or other disposition of property, as well as deduction for depreciation, amortization, depletion, and casualty losses. So that is how we identify. Okay? Then we have to prepare your tax return, of course. Dahil meron tayong negosyo, itong nating kalilimutan, mga young entrepreneurs, dahil nag-put up tayo ng business, we have to pay taxes. Okay? So maging mabuting mamamayan tayo na dapat tayo ay mag-declare ng ating mga income and then prepare your tax na dapat nating ibigay doon sa ating gobyerno para makatulong po tayo sa ating mga mamamayan. So you need good records to prepare your tax returns, and these records must support the income, okay, expenses and credits you report. Generally, these are the same records you use to monitor your business and prepare your financial statement. Okay, so yan po yung preparation po natin. And of course, to support items reported on your tax return. That's why we have to identify the reason, no? Then, you must keep your business records available at all times for inspection by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. If the BIR examines any of your tax returns, you may be asked to explain the items reported. Okay? And a complete set of records will speed up the examination. Okay? So yun po yung reason ng ating keep ng ating mga business records. We have to identify. Now, we perform bookkeeping tasks. Okay, hindi man tayo marunong sa math, hindi man tayo magaling, no? But then, we have to know how to the bookkeeping task activity na dapat po nating ilagay dun sa ating mga reports. Diba? So kailangan po natin na mag-perform tayo ng ating mga bookkeeping tasks. Okay, ang sabi ni Mira, yung mga cash flow, balance sheet, income statement, profit and expenses, pati ang day-to-day sales report. Yan po ang hawak ko as financial manager ng group namin sa business plan at business implementation. Wow, that's very good, no? Ang galing ni Mira. Okay? Dahil siya po ang financial manager, so she had to keep, a cash flow. the balance sheet, the income statement, the profit and expenses, pati yung day-to-day sales report nila. That's a good, no? Good task na ginagawa ni Mira sa pag-perform po niya ng kanyang records. Okay? So what is bookkeeping? We define bookkeeping as the process of recording and organizing a business, okay? Financial transactions. And a bookkeeper is a person responsible for that process. Okay? So, kapag ikaw po ay nag-record, nag-organize ng isang mga business financial transaction, ikaw ay isang bookkeeper. Okay? Bookkeeper. Siya yung responsible sa proseso ng bookkeeping. Okay? Kayo, mga grade 12, sino ang na-assign sa inyo as bookkeeper? Okay? Tulad ni Mira, no? Yung activity na ginagawa niya is gawain ng isang bookkeeper. Okay? So in general, a bookkeeper records transaction. He or she sends invoices, makes payments, manage accounts, and prepares the financial statement. So yan ang magiging trabaho na inassign sa inyo ng inyong mga grupo. Okay? Yung ikaw ang mag-perform ng bookkeeping. At ang tawag sa iyo ay bookkeeper. Okay. Now, similarly, no, when we say bookkeeping, it lays the basis for the accounting process. Okay? Accounting focuses more on analyzing the data that bookkeeping really collects. Okay? So yan po yung pagkakaiba ng pag-bookkeep sa nag-accounting. Okay? Ang bookkeeping daw lays the basis for accounting process, while yung accounting naman focuses more on analyzing the data. So yung mga accountant natin ang nag-analyze ng ating mga data na ginawa ng ating mga bookkeeper. Okay, so remember that. Okay, now, how we understand business accounts. So ito po yung mga possible, not possible, ito po yung nilalagay natin sa ating mga business accounts. Yung tinatawag na asset, yung tinatawag na liabilities, yung tinatawag na revenue or income, yung expenses or expenditures, and the equity. So yan po yung nilalagay natin sa business accounts. So ano po ba yung asset? Pag sinabing asset, ito yung mga cash and resources. Okay? Ang example po natin dyan, yung mga accounts na nare-receive po natin, yung ating mga inventories. So yan po yung ating asset. Yung liabilities naman ay yung mga obligation mo, yung mga pinagkakautangan mo. Okay? Example niyan yung mga accounts payable o kung meron ka mga loan. No? Yan po yung tinatawag na liabilities. Ang revenue or income naman, ito yung money earned by the business sales. No? Kung ikaw po ay nag-operate na, no, nagbebenta ka na, so yung i-earn mo dito, yun ang tinatawag na revenue or income. Yes, very good si Mira. Dapat po alam ang basic accounts, no? Titles para sa paggawa ng journalizing. That's good, no? Ito nga po yon. You have to understand your business accounts. Okay? Yung mga title, asset, liabilities, revenue or income, expenses or expenditures, or the equity. Okay? So ano naman po yung expenses or expenditures? Ito yung cash flows out from the business to pay for some item. Example po niyan yung mga pinapasweldo natin sa ating mga manpower, okay? Ating mga employees, okay? Yung ating mga utilities. Kaya ano po ba ang mga utilities natin? For example, meron kang telepono, meron kang internet, meron kang kuryente, meron kang tubig, o ano pa yung mga utilities na pwede po natin i-declare sa ating pong account, okay? And then another na title sa account na ating ilalagay is yung equity. Ito yung value remaining after liabilities subtracted from the asset. No? Example po niyan yung stocks or yung ating mga retained earnings. Okay? So yan po yung pag-perform. Okay? So sa paggawa ng ating business record, yes, good morning, Senpai Carl, teacher at tutor Carl from Olonga po. Okay? Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. So tayo po ngayon ay nagpe-perform ng ating bookkeeping activity. So ano po ang nilalagay sa ating mga bookkeeping records? No? Yung mga account description. So ano-ano po mga iba-ibang account description?
So, nandiyan po yung mga listahan po natin. Abak po, RJ Calagwas from Pampanga. Okay? So, ang mga account description na nilalagay po natin are account payable, account receivable, cash, dividends, equipment, insurance expense, interest income, interest payable, inventory, owner's capital, real estate, rent expense, rental income, retained earnings, salaries and wages, sales income, supplies expense, unearned service revenue, and utilities expense. So yan po yung mga description ng account po natin na ilalagay po natin sa ating mga business transaction. Ano mga account type? Okay, meron din po siya na iba-ibang account type like liability, the asset, the equity, okay, the expense, the revenue, the liability, okay, equity, expense, okay, revenue, okay, expense, liability. Okay, so yan po yung mga account type na inilalagay po natin. Okay, I think naulit-ulit lang yung iba. Okay? Now, how to set up your business accounts? So, ayan na po yung mga challenging activity no, na gagawin natin. How are we going to set up your business accounts? Okay? Basically, okay, nilalagay po natin dyan sa ating general ledger. Okay, ano po yun? Yung fiscal book to record the charts of accounts. Okay? So, saan nilalagay ang ating record ng chart of accounts? Inilalagay natin siya sa general ledger. Okay, so general ledger po natin siya inilalagay. Okay, now, ano ang mga example ng mga pwede po natin gamitin? Okay, pwede tayong gumamit ng spreadsheet. So, I think marunong naman kayo mag-Microsoft Excel. Okay, so doon po nilalagay. Pwede tayo gumamit ng desktop accounting bookkeeping software. Example, yung QuickBooks. Meron po tayong pwedeng ma-download ng mga free software. Though yung QuickBooks po is binibili din, pero meron din mga free na software na pwede po natin gamitin for accounting. And of course, dahil nga po uso ang online, no, we can use also cloud-based bookkeeping software. Okay? Po yun sa browser po natin, Google, no? Google engine, yung SEO, will give you different kinds of software na pwede po natin gamitin sa ating mga business records. Yes, ang ginagamit daw ni Mira ay before columnar. Okay? Sa columnar po sa pagle-ledger. Okay. Okay, very good, no? So columnar, basically yan ang ginagamit, no, sa ating mga bookkeeping. Columnar. Okay? Pero dahil nga siyempre, mas gusto natin mapabilis ang ating mga activity, no, sa pag-record, we usually use, no, yan mga software na talaga namang makakatulong na mapabilis ang ating mga ginagawang recordings. Okay? So ano pa? Okay? We can decide on a different method in bookkeeping. Okay? Like for example, we can do a single entry bookkeeping and a double entry bookkeeping. Okay? Sa single entry bookkeeping, you can enter each transaction only once. So kaya nga single. So if a customer pays you a sum, you enter that sum in your asset column only. So yun po yung single entry. Pag double entry naman, you record of 2 entries for each transaction, like yung debit, credit, or yung DR and CR. Okay? And the debit is usually recorded first on the left. Okay, so from this side, itong left side natin ay ang debit, at dito naman sa right side natin ang credit. Okay, debit, credit. So yan po yung nakalagay sa ating pong business records. Okay, now, of course, yes, very good, Mira. Double entry, okay, may debit at may credit. Kaliwa, kanan. Okay, debit, credit. Okay. So, of course, we have to balance our books. No, kasi pag hindi balance ang books mo, ibig sabihin, mali ang iyong ginagawang recordings. So, the last step in basic bookkeeping is to balance and close the books. No? When you tally up account debits and credits, often at the end of the quarter or year, the total should match. This means that your books our balance. You have been recording journal entries to accounts as debits and credits, and congratulations, if your transaction is balanced, then tama ang iyong records. Kasi importante mag-balance yan. Okay? Hindi yan tatanggapin kapag hindi balanse. Now, how do we prepare our financial report? No, ito na po ang pinaka medyo nakakapagod din na activity natin. No, kasi magsasubmit tayo ng ating financial report. Okay. So, anong ating nilalagay? Yung ating balance, yung ating profit and loss statement, at ating cash flow statement. So, iba-iba pong report yan. Iba ang report ng balance sheet, iba ang report ng income statement, at iba ang report ng cash flow statement. Okay? So, kanina, na-discuss ko na sa inyo kung ano yung balance sheet. This is the summary of business assets, the liabilities and equity at a single period of time. The total assets should be equal to the sum of all liabilities and equity accounts. So, kailangan balance yan. And then we have to prepare our profit and loss statement or the income statement, a report that breaks down the business revenues, the cost, and expenses over a period of time. It will help you compare your sales and expenses and make your forecast. Okay? So yan po yung ating income statement or the profit and loss statement. And of course, ang other financial report na ating isasubmit, okay, ang ating tinatawag na cash flow statement, which is similar to the profit and loss, but it does not include any cash items such as depreciation. This cash flow statement helps you show where your business is earning and spending money and its immediate viability and ability to pay its bills. So yan po yung ating pag-prepare sa financial report. Now, this is one of the activity na ating pong gagawin with the bookkeeping task. Okay, we have to record your business transaction, by indicating your selection with a tick. Check-checken po natin kung alin po dito ang mga dapat nating gawin o gagawin. Okay? So, let's try to answer this. Okay? So, when you receive a check for goods you sold, saan mo ilalagay siya? Sa cash payment journal, sa cash receipts journal, sa purchase journal, or sa sales journal. Okay? So, sa number 1, saan mo dapat ilagay yan? When you receive a check for goods you sold, ilalagay mo yan sa cash receipts journal. Okay? Dito mo siya ilalagay. Okay? So, this is validated by an accountant, Mr. RJ Kindara. Okay? Thank you very much po kay Sir RJ sa pagpapaunlak na i-validate po niya ang activity na ito. Okay? The number 2, you collected the car from your garage mechanic after it had been serviced that day and you wrote a check to cover the invoice. O saan po dapat ilagay yan? How about you, Mira? Saan mo dapat ilagay ang ano na yan? Okay? Sa journal. Okay? So kung nilagay mo siya sa cash payment journal, okay, so that is correct. Diyan po nilalagay yan. Sa pangatlo, you called in at the printer and collected the printing you ordered. Okay, the printer gave you an invoice and put the amount on your account. O saan mo ilalagay yan? Dito mo siya ilalagay sa purchase journal kasi nag-purchase ka. Okay? Purchase journal. Okay, check. Number 4, the bank paid you interest on the money you had in your bank account. O saan mo ilalagay yan? Sa number 4 natin. O, ilalagay po natin siya sa cash receipt journal. Okay? Number 5, you supplied sports equipment to 10 members of your sport club on the condition that they will pay you in 1 month's time. So, saan natin ilalagay siya? Dito natin siya ilalagay sa sales journal. Number 6, the monthly telephone bill arrives in the mail and must be entered into the accounting system of the company. O saan natin ilalagay yan? So, ilalagay natin siya dito sa purchase journal. Okay? Number 7, you paid rent with a check. Okay? Ano ang tamang sagot doon? You paid rent. So, dito mo natin ilalagay sa cash payment journal. Cash payment. Number 8, you receive a check from a customer who paid his account. So, saan natin ilalagay siya? Dito natin siya ilalagay sa cash receipts journal. Number 9, you took delivery of stock which you purchased on accounts from your supplier. Kung saan natin ilalagay siya? Okay, dito natin siya ilalagay sa purchase journal. Okay. Number 10, you receive a telephone call from your customer ordering goods to be sent on his account. So natin ilalagay siya. Dito natin siya ilalagay sa sales journal. Okay. So meron po tayo mga answer dito. Tama ang sagot ni Mira. No? That's very good, Mira. Okay. For participating in our activity today. Okay. Now, we have to identify where there is a profit or loss for a business. No, paano natin siya i-identify? Okay? By understanding a profit and loss statement. Okay? So we're going to use the profit and loss statement. So paano po natin siya ino-compute, no, using the formula revenue minus expenses is equal to profit. So this is the formula na atin pong gagamitin for identifying kung meron po tayong loss, no, sa ating negosyo. Kung meron tayong loss or profit. Okay, so this is the statement used, no? One of the 3 financial statements every company uses quarterly and annually, along with the balance sheet and the cash flow statement. It is often the most popular and common financial statement in business plan, as it quickly shows how much profit or loss what was generated by a business. So ito po yung ginagamit natin para ma-identify natin if there is a loss or a profit in our business. Okay, so from the given example, okay, so this is how we're gonna report the income statement. Okay, that is an example. Okay, so ang net income niya ay umabot sa 219,723. Okay, yan po yung example. And then, we also use the balance sheet statement. Okay, paano natin naman siya kukuhanin? Using the formula, assets is equal to liabilities plus the equity. Okay, so ito yung gagamitin natin. Okay, a balance sheet is the financial statement of a company which includes asset, the liabilities, equity, capital, the total debts. No, it is one of the 3 fundamental financial statements and is key to both financial modeling, and accounting because it displays the company's total assets and how these assets are financed through either debt or equity, and it can also be referred to as a statement of net worth or a statement of financial position. So makikita po natin dito sa ating balance sheet. And this is an example of how we record our balance sheet. Okay, so I believe naman na you can follow. Okay, and then lastly, sa ating financial report, we have to do cash flow statement. Okay, so paano po natin ginagawa? Okay, so these are the structures of our cash flow statements. We do cash from operating activities. No, we identify the cash from investing activities, cash from financing activities, and disclosure of non-cash activities. So yan po yung structure na nilalagay po ninyo dapat sa cash flow statement. Okay, so ang cash flow statement is the financial statement that summarizes the amount of cash and cash equivalents entering and leaving a company. So these cash flow statements measures how well a company manages its cash position, meaning how well the company generates cash to pay its debts, obligation, and funds its operating expenses, and it complements the balance sheet and income statement and is a mandatory part of a company's financial report. Okay, so yung tatlo po na yan, tandaan po natin, income statement or yung ating pong profit and loss statement, our balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. So yan po yung mga importanteng statement, no, financial report na dapat natin i-submit, no, sa ating pong activity. Okay? Then this is our example of the cash flow statement. Okay, now that's the end. I'm happy, no, sa ating mga grade 12, advance congratulations kasi gagraduate na kayo. And we are thankful, no, in behalf of the ETUlay online tutorial family. We're so happy, we're so thankful kasi nandyan kayo. Okay? Gusto niyo matuto, nandito po ang ating mga online tutor na maglilingkod po para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa lahat. Okay? So marami pong salamat. Again, this is Tutor Wax from STO Olongapo City. na nagsasabing, huwag gawing komplikado ang pagkatuto gamit ang hashtag ETUlay ang Entrep, ETUlay mo, and signing off. Salamat po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Sir
Salamat
Robbie,
po
and
sa inyong
together, we will learn the word of the future, robotics. Did you know that here in Educational Technology Unit, robotics is a priority to make every Filipino learners and teachers competent and meet the demands of the future global scene? Wherein teachers, students, and parents who wanted to learn robotics is just a click away for free. Robotics is an interdisciplinary field which integrates computer science and engineering. It involves design, construction, operation, and use of robots to assist human activities. Are you ready for this transformation? Soon in ICT's Educational Technology Unit. Come and join us and love the future para sa bata, para sa bayan, at para sa guro. Sulong edukalidad.